Off we go, hey ho, where we going to go? Guess where we going to go? Yes, we going to go into the kitchen, doopy doopy doo. Oh. Better clean this up before she turns up. She'll kill us. So I've got the coffee, I've cleaned the bench, which means Scruffy will be in the good books, and he's actually in a good mood. Let's roll the intro and find out. I'll see you on the other side. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Langers and I am the Scruffy Trader. And why am I scruffy? Well, I'm not exactly a fashion icon, because most days I just look like the love child between Shrek and Wurzel Gummidge. But that's me just being me. But I am a good trader, and that's how I make my living. And if you look around the other videos that I do, I'm trying to put trading in the real world. No fake Lamborghinis, no mansions. It's just me, that screen, and the most important thing, a coffee. Because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. It's what keeps me lubricated, because trading can be incredibly stressful. Even when you're reasonably successful, and probably more so when you're successful, because you deal with bigger numbers. If you're dealing at 50p or 10 cents a point and you lose a few quid, it's nothing more than the cost of a McDonald's. When you're at £25 a point and that moves 10 points against you, that's 250 quid. 20 points against you, you are at 500, you know. And many times I have a stop loss that is around 60 points. So I can sit on a lot of heat at times. So you have to be able to control your emotions. And that's the other side of some of the videos that I do. For all the technicals are there, and you'll see the live trades, and the live trades are in the moment, all time stamped, and they're there regular to show consistency, but also because it's part of my visual representation of my trading journal. And I do implore that you keep a trading journal just so you can do your homework, back test, see where you went right, but more importantly where you went wrong. And then the other lot of videos is a rant, because I'm old and I like a rant, and that's what happens, you know. Grumpy old man syndrome, as my children would call it. But they're not all rants of anger, although the last couple have. If you saw the last one, I was proper annoyed. And this is kind of a follow-up to that rant, because I do get some awful messages, but I get some wonderful ones too. And the thing with life is, too many times you hone in on the bad elements. And in my wife's business, she has a confectionery business that is retail and mail order. Some of the ways she's spoken to on emails is unbelievable because of the rise of Amazon and eBay's, etc. Sometimes people are just stupid. I mean, she'll get ridiculous comments like, "Oh, got your sweets. I could have walked down the shop and bought them in Tesco's and saved myself the delivery." What planet are you living on? You bought it off a mail order site. Of course you're going to pay delivery, you moron. But that's just the way the world is. And what happens is, she can deal with 1,000 people, but she'll only ever talk about one. And it's the one that was a pain in the proverbial arse. And in some ways I fall into that, and I'm going to try not to, because it's not really the correct way to move forward. Yes, they annoy me. No, I won't ever help them if they ever slag me off or slag anybody off in the Facebook group that we run. You're very welcome to come join us, by the way. There's no selling or anything like that. It's just a bunch of guys having a friendly chat and having a bit of shared learning along the way, if you want to call it that. But mainly it's just a community of people having a chat. And that's the way that I want it. I don't want it to be a signal service or anything like that. And if you're stuck and I'm unable to pick up a message because I'm busy, the others will answer it and you'll talk amongst yourselves and you'll have a good time, and I'll chime in when I can. And that's the idea of a forum like that. And the good thing is it's a private forum, so you're vetted before you go in, and if you're in there and you're not behaving yourself, you kick straight out, because those guys are good guys and they don't deserve having it kicked into them because somebody fails. And that's the key element of rants. When people are having a pop at me, I actually don't think they're having a pop at me. I think they're having a pop at themselves, because ultimately they fail. And trading can create that. It's a very decisive industry in the sense that it's portrayed as being easy. It's portrayed as being get rich quick. And you're going to be the Wolf of Wall Street in 30 days and give up your job. It don't work like that. You can grow a small account. Truly you can. But it'll take you about a year to take a few £100 into a few £1,000s, and then you're looking at the next year to turn that few £1,000s into tens of thousands of pounds. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. All right. And the other side of it is, too many people, they'll have a system and it probably works, be a good system, but they lose once, so suddenly they think, well, that system's no good, so I'll try something else, and then that'll work, and then they'll lose and they go, oh, this is rubbish, I'll try something else. And all they should have done is had the risk management in place and looked after the current account that they have, and they'd probably been okay. All right, you just have to work out what your expectation is of your system. If your system is at 50%, you need a 1 in 2 return, so at the end of the week you're in profit. If you have a 90% system, you can get away with 1 to 1 and things like that. So you just got to look at the system you have and make certain that your target and your stop loss are at the correct levels, and just work to it like that and you'll be fine. And what this is a happy rant, and it really is a happy rant, because it's Sunday today, we're on lockdown and my grandkids can't come and see me for obvious reasons. Nobody's allowed to travel anywhere, so I've had to play with them via FaceTime. But I did go around to see Grandad, and we all know him, the oldest swinger in town, and helped him tidy the garden a little bit. And then I came here, I was reading through my emails, and I came across one that really made everything I do worth it. And I blanked the names out because it's professional to do that. You shouldn't really name and shame anybody, but you shouldn't name anybody either, which is why when I do rants and somebody has a pop at me, I never actually name them or give any of their contact details, because it's their life and it's unfair for me to do that. So that's why I blank everything out. And this email is one of the reasons why I do what I do, you know, because they thank me for it. And they're seeing trading for once in a clean light. And that's the whole purpose. So I really do thank you for that, because it's made my day. It really has. And I'll pick up on what you were saying within the email, that you had a bit of a blip this week. And the blip is nothing to worry about. Now, as you know, if you watch some of the others, my background, apart from running my own business, was in medical sales in the blue chip sector. and they love to chuck money at team building courses. Don't ask me why, how making a raft to get from one side of a river to the other with people who were lucky if they could tie their shoelaces together makes me a better salesperson and a better account manager is beyond me, because basically all we wanted was the jolly and the free bar on a night time. And if you ever see some of my parties, they might start well, but let's just say they could have ended better, because I am an aging child. Anyway, that was a good night actually, what I can remember of it. But we've had some wild parties in our house. Anyway, cut long story short, I have taken some of the elements of these courses to heart, and at the time I thought they were useless, but sort of 25 years on, I still remember them. And you'll hear me say quite often, we're all trying to get to the same destination, we just use different roads. And that made me think about this email, because we are trying to get the same destination, and that destination is time freedom, and your time freedom has to be paid for, and trading can do that for you. You see, if I have a good run, I can be finished at 10:30 in the morning and do what I like. If I have a good couple of days, I can have the rest of the week off. So I can do what I like, and it does give me a lot of freedom in my life. So that's my destination, and I'm assuming that's what most people is. It's just to have a better life. But then I started looking at what the roads are as to how you get there, and how you might have some blips along the way. So if you think of it in this way, and I like to use little stories to try and explain it, kind of brings it out of the technical and into an easy way of looking at life. If you were out on a road trip, and if you're in England, you'd be going up the M1, nice, goes right the way up the middle of the country. Or in the States, my favourite road is I-4, because I love Florida. Because again, I'm an aging child, and my favourite destination is Orlando, and I go to Disney and run around like a child. So I know I-4 quite well, because I whiz up and down that highway when I go up to Daytona Beach or wherever it is I happen to be going. Principle's the same, but let's look at it different ways. So you can get to your destination either by just getting on the motorway and flooring it. But think of it this way, if you're going hell for leather on a motorway and you have a crash, that crash is going to be catastrophic. And that's what dealing in very small time frames is like, because you normally over leverage yourself and your stop loss is too wide for the time frame that you're dealing on. So if you get it wrong, this big wide stop loss is going to get hit, and it's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt badly. So there's another way you could go. So you could just use a country lane and your motorway, half and half. So now you're either going to have a catastrophic bang, or you might have a little knock, because you get caught on a country road and you're only doing 30 miles an hour, whereas on a motorway you might be doing 70, 80 miles an hour. So again, and that's your 15 to your hour time charts, and your ideal point is to have a little knock. Okay. Or you could just use a country road all the way. It takes a long time to get there, but the risks are very few, because you can see the tractor a mile off coming, and if you do get clipped, you just knocked a wing mirror off or something like that. Nothing really heavy, and life goes on. So that's kind of an analogy of the way I look at the charts, you know. So you can So you can be on your country road, your 4 hour, your daily. You could have a cross-country trek where it's a little bit of country roads and a little bit of highway. They're your hours and your 15 minutes. Or you can go flat out on a motorway and use your 5 minute and your 1 minute charts, but you're looking at a serious car wreck if you get it wrong. So that's kind of what I took away from the email. So in summary, don't worry about your blips. It happens to us all. I have a good strike rate, I really do. But I'm very selective about what I trade, and I'm very cautious on how I trade. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best tool I have in the bag is patience, because I know I might have to sit 3 or 4 hours for the market to move to a level I want to get in at. And as soon as it gets into that level, I then get interested. I wait for it to go past that level, and then I'm waiting for it to come back through it. Well, either crashing down or crashing up, depending on the direction we're going in. So the market always comes to me. I never chase the market. And that's why my strike rate is pretty good. Okay, don't get me wrong, when I get caught good and proper. But it's only ever 1-2% max in my account. So you might see me lose 2,000 or 3,000 quid, and yeah, it hurts, and I'm not impressed, and trying to tell Winky that I've just lost that amount of money doesn't bode well, especially if I do it 3 or 4 times off the belt, because that £3,000-4,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 pounds suddenly becomes 10 in a week, and that can scare you. However, it only scares you if it's all you've got. If your account is big enough to take it, it's just a bad day at the office. If your account can't take it, you're trading too high a level. And that's why I tell you, calm it down. Don't swing for the fences. And if you think of it like this, you're not going to catch the bottom third, you're not going to catch the top third, you just want the bit in the middle. The crumbs that the big boys leave behind, and those crumbs will feed you. And I've shown you, if you're on £5 a point, you do 20 points a day, it's 100 quid a day, £500 a week. Take into account a few losses, that'll give you a salary of £25,000 a year for doing something you love. And that's it. Dead simple. So, a happy rant today, because Scruffy's in a happy mood. It's generally made my day. So I do thank you for it. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. So I've got some other things to do. I'm on doing a series of easy questions, and they're all put into a single playlist. So please chime in on them. And it's just simple questions like, what is Forex, what is a pip, what is an RSI. There's no stupid questions, because if you don't know, you don't know. And the idea of the playlist is to put it all together, and you'll build up your own course that you can pay reference to as and when. So with all of that, please click the subscribe button, smash the little like, because they're the bits that motivate me to do more of these, and leave a comment below. Simple as that. So remember, guys, do what you love, money will follow. I'll see you on the next one.